Same pattern. Tiki Barber and Brian Dawkins level.
That ball went out of here off the top of the wall. Chipper Jones just won the ball game.
We got 30 minutes for the rest of our life. 30 minutes.
Electrifies the crowd and is the beginning of a new order here in the NBA.
Hey, Dan Hicken and Denny Thompson with another Hometown Hero podcast brought to you by Lockett Law. Know before you blow. Appreciate Lee Lockett and all that he does. We had a special guest today, Denny. The one thing I like is that we've kind of delved into all different sports. I think Denny, our youngest hometown hero, but a guy certainly in the news of late, and that would be our friend Garrett Scantling, United States decathlete.
I think far and away our youngest.
Yeah.
I think half the age of everybody else.
Well, we had Tom Coughlin, who's in his 70s.
Right.
How old are you, Garrett?
I'm 28, man.
Yeah.
So it feels like I'm getting up there. But I just got to keep remembering I'm young. I still got my body. I just got to take advantage of it right now.
Okay, so the question everybody would ask you, I think, is, how does one become a decathlete? When does one notice that they're good at the decathlon events, and then one decides, okay, I don't want to play football or baseball or basketball, but I want to be a United States decathlon champion? How does that come about?
So it's came about by circumstance, just kind of good luck, I guess. And, well, now I call it good luck, but I know it's been a struggle learning everything. But in high school, I was just a pole vaulter and a high jumper since 7th grade. And those are technically two of the hardest events that you can do in the decathlon, just because they're so technical and hard to learn. And so I guess all the track coaches at colleges started looking at my football tapes. Obviously I'm an American, athlete, so football or baseball or something along those lines will always be like my first love, you would call it. Just because, that's how you were raised. I mean, my dad wanted me to play football for the longest time. So I did track just to kind of stay in shape for football. And so when the college coaches started calling, they could see my athletic ability, my ability to use my feet, use my balance, everything like that. And the decathlon, I mean, that's just the base of everything. And so all the college coaches were calling for the decathlon. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I knew that it was 10 events, but I didn't know that it was like the 400 and the 50. I didn't know I had to run a mile, basically, all out. That was kind of like the last thing I found out. But it was just a way for me to get in college, and get to a good college that I wanted to actually go to. The offers I had in football were a lot of lower pay schools. So, just having those Florida State, Georgia offers on the table kind of, opened my eyes to track and made me want to take it a little more seriously. It's a little different in America than all my training partners are European. So they grew up in doing the decathlon. I mean, they've been doing it since they were 12, 11 years old. And so that was kind of a big learning curve for me, is just seeing how serious these guys take it and how much I had to up my game basically to compete with them. So it's definitely been a long road the past 9 years of just learning every single event from scratch. But as my coach Petros Kiprianos says, he would rather have me learn it from scratch than try to undo bad habits that you learned from high school. So it gave me a kind of an advantage in that too.
Well,
so.
don't give the coach too much credit on this, because I listen. At the end of the day, we're talking about a guy who used to roam the halls at Episcopal, right, Garrett?
Yeah.
And this is a guy who never really even thought about running any of these things, right? Like, this wasn't in his plans, and then he takes that and takes it to the Olympics.
The Olympics.
And damn near medals
Fourth
in what is arguably like the most athletic and difficult thing at the Olympics.
for sure.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like think about how good of an athlete you have to be to just one day go.
Either that or the canoe thing with the rapids. That looks hard too. I don't know.
Yeah, that was awesome, isn't it? Where they dip their heads underneath the bars. And stuff.
All of
I
it.
caught that.
And I actually want to get to the dynamic of the Olympics in a second, but just have you had time to sit back and go, this is pretty wild that everybody I was competing against grew up from the time they were 7, focused on getting to the Olympics to do this. And I just decided on a whim one day that I'm going to do it, and I'm here competing with these guys.
Right. No, it's crazy. It took it a while for it to sink in, just the fact that I was there. But when people would approach me, like even just like swimming Olympic athletes or like diving or any sport really, they would approach me, ask me what I did. And I told them I did the decathlon, and just about every single one of them told me like, wow, that's like the ultimate Olympic sport. Like you're like the ultimate athlete here. And for me, I know I put in the work for this, and I definitely know I deserve to be here. But it's a surreal feeling just knowing that all of my hard work is paying off, and people are starting to notice. Like that's the biggest part for me is that you always put in the work, and how hard you're working, but when you start getting the recognition or just the proudness and the support from your hometown people, especially here in Jacksonville, it makes it all worth it. And it makes me hungrier to keep going, I guess I would say.
I'll admit, Garrett, it was when I heard you qualified, it was weird because I know your family. And the last time I think I saw you was didn't you do a pro day at JU?
Yeah.
And that wasn't
exactly. That was where, because Georgia wouldn't let me in theirs. And so I came home and asked for some support, and I got into the JU Pro Day.
And that wasn't that long ago. And so when I heard, all right, he's qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, I'm like,
wait a minute.
What the hell? The dude was just trying to play receiver in the NFL, and he just decided that he's going to add 10
that was
events.
What, 2017, I think that was the when I had the Pro Day, was 2017.
So you're such a great athlete that what was your last year of playing football at Episcopal?
2011.
Okay, so
the fall of 2011.
All right, and then you went to Georgia on a track scholarship, right?
Yes, absolutely.
No football at Georgia.
Nope, no football, none of that.
So then you go to a pro day.
Decathlon.
Yeah, then you go to a pro day, and did you get? You got an offer from Atlanta, right, or something? No.
Yep. So I went to that pro day, and then I went to my agent got me a workout with the Falcons, and I went there, and they tried me all over the field. I was a DB, a wide receiver, and I think that's kind of what caught their eye. Just my ability to kind of.
That's pretty amazing.
Breaking news, Dan.
Yeah.
Garrett Scantling has decided he's going to play in the NBA next year.
Yes.
You know what? That is one sport that I just know. Like that's a big no for me.
That's a big no.
It's weird. It's weird. I just was never the basketball savvy. I could not. I can dunk. I can do all that stuff.
I'm sure.
Put me outside the paint, then it's Brick City. I'll tell you that right now. Now, I'm all right with. You can only have so many sports you're good at.
Now you said you had a heck of an Olympic Games. I mean, you had some personal bests, right? I mean, I thought I saw javelin, 400. What did you do your best in?
Okay, so what I did my best in was the 400, which is the end of day one.
Okay.
Last event, we ended up running that at like 9:45 at night. Ran 48:25, so that was a PR by half a second.
Wow.
And that's honestly the event that I attribute to getting me or myself back on pace. Mm-hmm. I put myself in a hole the first 4 events, and I needed a 400 to kind of get me out of it, and I just went all out and left it all out there, and it worked out. And then I did pretty well my first 3 events of the second day, but then when the javelin came, I knew I needed points. It was my best event that I had left. Mm-hmm. And so I let it rip, man, in a 2-meter PR, and it got me right back into the running, put me in 4th place. And I think I was in like 7th or 8th before that. Mm-hmm. And then the 1500, I mean, everyone hears the stories of how much it beats me up, and it's my worst event.
Right.
But my coach told me before, he was just like, imagine He's like, I know you're in fourth. You have a chance to come in third. Like, imagine what that could do for your life, your personal goals. He said, don't run it for yourself, run it for the people at home and the people and your family at home. And that's kind of what I did. And honestly, I left it all out there, man.
Man, you sure did.
It was, a 10-second PR. So that's why, it stings. It stings for sure to come in fourth. But when you know that you did everything that you possibly could, and I think this decathlon taught me a lot about myself, and that the mental side of it is a lot harder than the physical.
I bet.
And so just the fact that, you sit there all day long in this room with your competition who you're nice to, but at the same time, you want to beat them. And you can just feel the tension in the room the whole time. Like it's just crazy. And it's something that you're not taught, and you have to learn from experience. So having this experience under my belt, I think that the next several competitions to come up, I feel like I'm going to be a different animal. So
on training day, what event do you go, yeah, I'm not doing that one today? You got to train for all. You got to train for all 10 of them. I'm guessing. So, I'm sure there's a method to the madness. But for Garrett Scantling, which one is oh God, I'll get to that tomorrow.
Everyone knows it's the 1500 workouts that I have to do. Okay. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm a big guy, and it's just my first 9 events are just they're all very, very nice and even and even keeled, whatever. But when you hit that 1500, in the past, it's just whoop my butt, man. I don't know what it is, but now I feel like I got a handle on it. After that race,
oh yeah,
I feel like a new man. I feel like a completely rounded decathlete who can run the 1500 a little better now. It still stinks, but like I said, it gives you that confidence in yourself to know that you got more left in the tank.
Talk about Tokyo in general, the Olympics, the experience, all that kind of. It was a weird thing, right? No fans. Right. The city basically locked down from what I understand. A year later than it was supposed to be. So now there's a 3-year turnaround to the, what'd you say, Dan? London?
Paris.
Right?
I think Paris.
Paris Olympics. Just the whole experience, was it what you thought, or did you know what to even expect, or just kind of talk about your time there?
Right. So I'm going to be honest with you, it was a lot better than I expected. I thought that we were going to be locked down and have no sense of freedom. They had, I think there was 8,000 to 10,000 athletes in the village, and it was a big village. So you were able, as long as you had your mask on, to walk around, and you could really just kind of do whatever you would like. You go to the dining halls. Everyone was just still trading pens and stuff, but it was just, having the mask on. It was 100 degrees every day. It was so much hotter than I expected it to be. So having those masks on, obviously in that kind of heat, you feel it, and it's kind of an annoying thing, but just the sense that we could walk around and mingle with other countries and talk to other countries it made it all worth it.
What about the cardboard beds? Were those uncomfortable?
So they were a lot more supportive than people expected too. They supported me. I had to put an extender on it. Yeah. And it was okay. It was okay at best. I got my sleep. Yeah. But my roommate was Ryan Krauser, who's he's the world record holder. He got gold medal in the shot put.
Oh yeah, I saw that guy. That dude is a stud. That's a big dude now.
Yeah, isn't he, man? He's humongous. He's huge. Yeah. But yeah, so he was my roommate, and we had 4 to a room. I guess the medal favorites got their own rooms, and so I kind of lucked out with that. I didn't have a roommate in my room with me, sleeping next to me and stuff like that. Yeah. But they gave Ryan a Tempur-Pedic bed. All the throwers got queen-size Tempur-Pedic beds, and so I'm just sitting there oh God, I got to sit in this, man.
I would have taken a nap on that one when he wasn't there. When he's out competing, I would have napped up. What about? Did you meet any Czechoslovakian tennis players or anything like that? Huh? Did you get any phone numbers over there?
Denmark. I got some Denmark friends that are sprinters, and I hung out with one of my new friends. She's a heptathlete from Canada, and so we
TikTok, baby, TikTok.
And I got to see, I got to see Yao Ming, Paul Gasol, Luka Doncic was there.
That's cool.
It was just so crazy to be around those type of athletes and like have a sense of belonging, I guess, you know, if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure. That's awesome.
Two questions here, Garrett. One, get a little personal. Did we get some endorsement deals out of this?
Oh.
Like, I mean, that's what I want to know is, are we paying bills off of this? Because now everybody in the country knows who you are.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So that was also another reason why I didn't want to come back and be average, because I wanted to come back and be able to support myself, save money for the future kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Nike is my full-on sponsor now. They're supporting me.
Yeah.
And I'm not hurting anymore. So
that's what I like to hear.
Good.
There, man.
Yes.
Yep. I got some endorsements from a Wee & Shore here in Jacksonville, Apopka area.
Yeah. Get those plugs in right now.
Everything, man. I'm telling you, like it's my dad. I mean, a lot of people know my dad. You know, he's not shy to talk to people. So I mean, that's something that comes in handy, and it's a great thing to have him on my side and him fighting for me. So yeah, I'll plug him in too and tell him I'm happy I got him on my team.
So the second question is, now that we have the endorsements, and now we're training full time, right? So now it's there's obviously
on to Paris, baby.
Well, there's events before then, Dan.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
okay.
you know,
World Championships.
So,
yeah. So we have World Indoor Championships next March, which are in Serbia.
Okay.
And I'm actually very strong indoors in the heptathlon. I think that I'm just as strong in the hep, if not better, than I am at the deck. So that should be. I'm looking to get my first senior medal there. And then we got World Outdoors in Eugene, which is first time on U.S. soil, so that'll be huge at that new stadium at Oregon.
Right.
And then the year after that is Nanjing, China World Indoors, which was supposed to be this year. And then we've got Beijing, China World Outdoors 2023, and then Paris 2024. So there's a lot.
That's cool.
I guess more exposure for track and field coming, you know, because I think it's something that we need. Because it's decathlon's a beautiful sport if you know someone that you're invested in and you're following it. If you're not and you're just following it along, it can get boring and strung out and long. So I'm just to bring that here to Jacksonville. I think it's going to be a good time for people to, you know, take some time out of their day and follow along.
Yeah,
so.
We're learning by watching. What is your personal best total points?
My personal best total points is 86.47.
Okay,
I did that at Olympic trials this year.
What is the world record?
So the world record is 91.26. It's by that Kevin Mayer guy, the
French guy. All right.
Yep, the French dude is.
So we need about 500 more points. I need 500 more out of you, Garrett, over the next 3 years.
How old is that dude?
There's only 4. So that guy is 31. They're both him and Damien are the same age.
We're gonna run them down. Yeah, we got them.
Oh yeah, no, that's what's big too about getting those endorsements and stuff, is that it allows me to focus. You know, now I got the strength back, I got the mental part back.
Right.
Now I can put in focus on like staying healthy and figuring out exactly how, you know, foot strikes work and correcting my form and everything, so I can get a little more, you know, detail on my training. And I think that when I do that, it's just gonna those 400 points. I think there's only been 4 people to ever score over 9,000 points in the decathlon.
Well, there's going to be 5, buddy. There's going to be 5.
I'm looking to be 5.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a lot left in the tank. I know that.
Good deal. Well, listen, man, we appreciate it. All of Jacksonville is proud of you. I know your family's very proud of you. You got a great family, and many blessings to all y'all, and continued hard work. And thank you to Garrett Scantling, Lockett Law, Know Before You Blow, our hometown hero this week. Denny, any parting comments for Garrett?
No, man, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm looking forward to following his journey here.
Yeah.
'Cause like you said, now this is a full-time gig for him.
Let's go.
Like we part-time to 4th place finished.
If you need a pep talk, give us a call.
Yes.
If you're not feeling like working one day, no charge. We'll be glad to get you going.
Just don't call before 9.
All right, cool. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And just want to give a shout out to Jacksonville, Florida, and Episcopal High School, and give you a little Duval.
Yeah. Thank you,
There
Garrett.
you go, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Care.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.